Um, what's most important is that we have the Word of God and the Holy Spirit working through it. And it really does. It brings you to times of tremendous joy. I think one thought, I've said this before in sermons, is like enjoying God is not the same as what we think of as happiness. Um, we can all see happiness if you look at a crying 3-year-old child who's then handed an ice cream cone. The child goes from sad to happy almost instantaneously. And that's what happiness is. Whereas this joy that we're talking about, and you mentioned this, it's a thoughtfulness, it's a consideration, it's a reckoning, it's a assessment, it's worship. Worship means assigning worth. Well, that's what this is. It's assessing the wonderful works of God and then saying, and God is worth my worship because of that. And it's infinitely better than an ice cream cone. It's not just a happy thought. It's joy because sin that I can't undo is forgiven by the holy, holy, holy God. It's because a God that I do not deserve to have as my loving father is in fact my loving father. It's um, a brother who is holy, harmless, and undefiled, not to mention God and man, is my brother, my elder brother. And he looks at me and he's not ashamed to call me his brother. All these things that are so great and wonderful that I have no right to, that I don't deserve at all, are mine by grace through faith. And and another way to look at that is like if ice cream makes the 3-year-old happy instead of sad, what happens if he can't have even ice cream? Does he just stay sad? And so I like to look at these things and realize over and over, because it's by grace through faith, because it's not based on my circumstances or my performance or my feelings. It's invincible. Like, you can't take it from me. You could lock me up. You could throw away the key. You could bury me in the bottom of the ocean. You could, whatever the case might be. I can't even take it from myself. I can't mess up my life so much that God stops loving me, because while I was still a sinner, he gave Christ to die for me. Um, so yeah, it's just a remarkable thing to consider, not joy for joy's sake or happiness for happiness sake, or burning in your bosom for burning in your bosom's sake, but instead like these wonderful works of God, as I think about how God has spoken about them and how men who believe in God speak about them, it brings me to worshipfulness and joyfulness and a gladness that is really beyond what any circumstances could bring me.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a ice cream cone for believers, over and over again. It just continues to be good news,
Yeah,
because
that's right.
it just continues to be amazing, and it just, it's just like, because the Holy Spirit continues to apply it to us, and help us to like see our need, and then to see the remedy that God has given to us, in Jesus Christ.
Christian Erudition.